In this episode, we had a pretty chill one. We just set up some automation for EnderIO, including the soul binder, and then we just chatted about random things. Ah yes, our beautiful super factory manager, Shrine. Welcome back, everyone. I like spending time in this room. Oh. There it is. Anyways, let me show you what I built here. Look at that. I learned a new trick with these steel scaffoldings, and now I must use it everywhere. So if you've been watching my other videos, you'll know that I've been using the heck out of these guys. But I think this looks really cool. So I've built this little industrial area for modern industrialization, which we'll get into soon, but not in this episode. This area is not going to be big enough for it. And we also need an area for extreme reactors. So I was thinking we could have this area and then halfway down the middle. So there's 9 of these sections. So in like the 5th one here, we could build a little doorway or like an arch or something and have 2 identical rooms on either side. So we'll have 3 of these rooms for modern industrialization, which I think would be cool. And I was thinking maybe down here, I could open up another one. And then on the other side of this wall, we could do our extreme reactor stuff. But this episode is not going to be here. It's going to be a little bit more of a chill episode today. I've been recording. I spent a lot of time recording the AE2 episode for my No-B series, which was 3 hours long. That whole thing was a mess, but we got through it. And then I'm getting ready to do the South controller episode right after this one. So I needed something chill for today here. And I can't believe it's been, I don't even know what episode we're on, but we've done all of this progress and we're getting close towards the end and we haven't even touched. Hello? I don't even have vacation logs. And we haven't even touched any EnderIO. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be setting up some EnderIO stuff, which I wanted to do here in this wall. And I'll have to figure out how to do that because I have Super Factory Manager cables behind it. And I don't know if I do this same design here with the pattern provider in the middle, I'll need to get to it from the back, which is going to be difficult. So a little bit of a miscalculation on my end on over here. Because yeah, it's directly behind this. Maybe we'll just leave the bottom empty and only do 3 sides of the machine or something. I don't know. I'll keep thinking about it. There's no real easy way to do it just because there isn't enough room. We could, I guess, I don't want to mess with this room either. Anyways, let's get into EnderIO. So the first thing you start with EnderIO is with these grains of infinity. And you can see I have 1.6 million of them. And I don't think I showed you guys how to get those. I did set up these for it at some point. So if we go over here and take a look, here it is. So these guys, we have our infinibees making grains of infinity. But to get grains of infinity, you either have to go find bedrock in the overworld, so it doesn't work in the mining dimension. If you go try this in the mining dimension, it won't work. But if you try to do it, basically it's you go either to bedrock. Oh, now you can do skulk too, I guess. But you find bedrock, endstone, skulk, or deep slate, and you set it on fire with a flint and steel, and it's got a 50% chance when the fire turns off to turn into a grain of infinity. So let's grab some deep slate and a flint and steel. And we should be able to just do this right here. The fire is going to go, and then you'll hear little popping noises. If any of them turn off, just light them back on fire. There was a pop. And you can see that one that popped in the middle here turned into a piece of cobblestone. So just go ahead and do this for a little bit until you get some grains of infinity. And then you can take those grains of infinity and turn it into a reinforced obsidian block, which is what I have feeding my bees. And or you can put that under an extractor too. Both of those work. And the bees, and you just put obsidian bee spawn eggs in the feeding slab with the blaze bee, and you should be able to get those. It's not too bad. Whoa, we're lighting our base on fire. Let's not do that. Anyways, you guys should be able to take care of the rest. I'm gonna break these. God damn it. I was trying to upgrade or level up my power gloves, and so I put in the digging claws and an onion ring, and went to the end and was like mining the obsidian towers so I could get experience to level up my power glove quickly. And we got 6 levels in like 10 minutes, which was great. But then my claws got to max level. Basically, they share experience. So with these guys, you can see you get +1 experience for each mine block, and the experience is directly proportional to the block's toughness. So that's why doing obsidian is good. And then once this relic gets experience, your other relics also get experience. So just going in there and like digging stuff is really good. So we upgraded our power glove a little bit, and I went ahead and made this sword. So it's basically crit damage sword with some standard enchantments on there. You guys can pause and take a look at that. But what's happening is our Paxel was no longer getting the sword enchantments on it, or like the sword things. So I changed and I made a sword. So just a non-crit was doing 2,500 damage. So that is a very nice sword. Is it going to look absolutely atrocious if I bump out the machines 1 block, like the pattern provider here, and then bump it out 1 block? I could turn the pattern providers. No, because that won't work either. All right. I don't think I have any other choice than to just plan better in the future, but we'll go down below. Oops. And then we'll just facade this part. So there we can have a pattern provider. The first thing I want to make is the alloy smelter from EnderIO. And as you're looting around, you're going to find a bunch of these dark steel ingots. Make sure you grab those. It's going to save you the hassle of trying to make them. Because if you don't have it, you have to make the primitive one, and that's really slow. So just pick those up, and it'll be fine. All right, let's grab some pattern providers. We're gonna have to automate a few things. This will be for our alloy smelter, and in reality, this should be plenty anyways. All right, let's take a look at some alloy smelter recipes by pressing U, and then we can go ahead and just make a bunch. Maybe this isn't the best idea because there's over 600 recipes for this. Oh, and these guys need capacitors to work. So you can either make these capacitors through EnderIO, which is a base modifier of 3, so it basically makes it 3 times as good. But you can also find these guys as you're looting, and some of them could be even better. So this one, for example, the base modifier is 3.26, so it's a little bit better than just a normal one. So anything that has a base modifier greater than 3, I usually try to grab. So we'll start with those guys. Oh, this one already has one, 3.5. That's a nice one. All right, and let's set the side inputs for this guy. I want this to be alloy only. We're not going to be doing smelting recipes in here. And then this side should be push-pull. Or I guess we can just put it on push. We'll just push to the pattern provider. So whatever's finished crafting is going to push in there. The pattern provider will be able to push the crafting recipes inside of it automatically. So we don't have to worry about that part. So these guys should be set to go. Now let's take some, make some recipes. All right, here are a few of the alloys that'll go in there. And we will also need the slice and splice. All right, those guys are being made, and those will require shears and axes. So let's grab some shears and we'll just make diamond axes. And we can Eternal Stella these, I hope. It looks like it does have to be set to push-pull, otherwise pattern provider doesn't push into it. So we will set it to push-pull. And what do we need? We needed another pattern provider over here, another one over here. All right, we'll put the things in there and hopefully that works. But now we are out of those capacitors. So we should figure out a way to make some. When you're making recipes, careful with stuff like that. So it was taking the Oritech coal dust, but we're going to have the mechanism one. You could also just turn on substitutions, which will be helpful, but I don't like to do substitutions unless I have to. And that was the rushing recipe for coal. So now we should be able to make 6 of these capacitors. There you go. Our alloy smelters are going. And pretty soon we'll get those. All right, let's see some recipes for slicing. This we're going to need for sure. I guess the zombie one and the Z-Logic controller. So we'll have to get things like zombie heads. So 2 things will require zombie heads. We need skeleton head and as well as the Enderman. I think our best bet is to just use hostile neural networks at this point. So let's grab, where is our Enderman stuff? Do we have it? I remember before you had the Enderman predictions, like you couldn't make the EnderIO head from Enderman predictions. You had to do it. You had to make the Ender sword and then go kill it. I remember helping a lot of people on Discord with that. All right, induction card for this guy. Induction card. I swear I can spell perfectly fine off camera, but then as soon as the camera's on, my fingers are like, oh, I'll place this one instead. Like that. What is that? Unbelievable. Let's give these guys the capacitors and then set the input output on this side. Cool. Now we also need to make data models for skeletons and zombies. We do have a zombie one, and that's a wither skeleton. We do have a skeleton one too. Very nice. Let's put the zombie guy over there. Skeleton can go here. And we can time wand these guys just a little bit. And skeleton skull's cool. Then we can also do, so these guys that had the ones, I can put it in here. Skulls. Where was the zombie? Here are, what? Can't get zombie heads from these? That's not ideal. Okay. I guess we're gonna do mystical agriculture. I haven't made any mob seeds for mystical agriculture because we haven't really used mystical agriculture, so I guess that makes sense. But we'll make some soul jar recipes, and then there was that this thing. The soul extractor. Bug. Let's make the soulium dagger. All right, here's the soul extractor that we're going to need, and 4 of these jars. Then we will need a bunch of rotten flesh. And we give this guy power. There's 2 ways of filling these soul jars. One, you can use those daggers, like any of these soulium daggers, and go kill mobs, and then these will get filled up. Or you can usually, there's a recipe with some kind of mob loot. So for the zombies, it's going to take a bunch of these rotten flesh. Since these guys are slow, actually we can just time wand. Oh, the time wand is so nice. All right. Don't need you no more. And we go down here. Not that one. We need the soulium seed base. That will go into our thing. Zombie seeds. Let that go for a bit. Okay, so the zombie heads. Now we can make. With that, skeleton heads we have, enderman heads we also have. And then we need the soul binder. Soul binder, let's make 3 of those guys. I think that's everything we need from EnderIO. Let's see what we need for the stars. So the Olamot star for EnderIO. I could have sworn we needed something from EnderIO for the star recipe. It may have been changed since the last time I looked at this, because I just updated to version 4.4. So something may have changed. They did add the ice and fire stuff, so we need a dragon familiar egg now. Oh, we will need it for, maybe that's what it was. We do need it for the runic star altar. And it's better to use the MI one. The Hephaestus Forge I also want, so we can automate all the Hephaestus Forge stuff, and that one will require Z-Logic controllers. So maybe this is what I was looking at. 1,000,000 blood. Damn. All right, so we will need a runic crucible for liquid souls. We'll also need soul tree. Can bees make this? Yes. Okay. Do we have a soul tree sapling? We do. All right. And the soul binder will go over here. Let's set these guys up. We do have to feed these guys experience. I don't imagine we'll be able to do that through the pattern provider, but I'll try to figure something out. Let's try this. So we do need a witch to capture. Maybe I can yoink one from here. Let's turn this guy off for a second. Here's a witch. So when you're making the recipe for the sentient ender, it basically, you want to drag the sentient ender on top and then put the empty soul vial on the bottom, so it shows up in your thing. So if I put it in the soul binder now, you can see that the sentient ender now shows up. But before, you would have to search soul vial. So just make sure that that is flipped around so you can see it. Now we have to figure out a way to put experience inside of the soul binder. And then later on, when we have the runic enchanter set up, we'll be able to automate the witch filled soul vial also with that. Or we can do some kind of a clicker thing with just dire things where we spawn a witch and then what do you call it? Just do a clicker on it. But for now, I want to try to make this work. And let's make an experience holder. I am trying to figure out how much experience 4 levels is. So if I put all of those in there and grab a hang from mechanism, let's say. It is 800 millibuckets. So if I grab that soul binder thing again, can we put 800 millibuckets? Let's test that out. Sentient Ender 1, please. We are missing a witch soul-filled soul vial, which we should have. We do have. Let's turn on substitutions. Oh, we can't because it's a... Will it work? Come on, put the experience in there. Oh, it did. It shows the 4, but it's still showing 0 out of 800 millibuckets. I wonder if it has to be EnderIO experience. Oh, it didn't actually put it in there. I wonder if you just need the EnderIO experience. Let's try doing that. Let's try this storage bus and cable. All right, so we have EnderIO XP juice as well. If we take this recipe and do that with XP juice and put in 0.8 buckets, will this work now? No. But why? If we push that experience in there, this should start going. 100 millibuckets. Where's the rest? So slow. It's still saying only 100 millibuckets. Where's the experience going? So 100 millibuckets went in there. This is still going down, as you see. But it's not actually going in here, which is concerning. Oh, it's going in here. Why is it going in here? I wonder if, you know how I was pushing into here? I wonder if it was just pushing before it can start. So let's turn this off. So it'll pull from that side, but it's not going to push back in. And we need to cancel that craft and put these guys back. Now, if I request it, oh my god, it went into here. Let me fix this real quick. Only pull. And you. Only pull. Cancel. One more time. Hey, it's working. Okay. So if it is set to push, it pushes the experience out. I wish there was a way you could stop that from happening. It doesn't seem like there is. Now, shoot, I wish I hadn't done that. Let's grab another witch and make another one with normal experience. So if it doesn't need the EnderIO experience, then we're better off just using this guy. And oops. Now, is this witch thing going to be different? It is, isn't it? We're going to figure this out. Don't worry. Which. Soul binder. All right. Just our things experience. Why has this stopped working? Oh, it was making the other thing. So just our things experience works. Perfect. We don't need this mess. And we just need a way to get it back into the pattern provider. And I will maybe pull from the top side. We'll do push to the top. I wonder if we even need that. I'll try modular routers for that. I know I don't love using these, but we'll when we need to. Distribution. Let's open that up because I'm going to pull from the top just in case. And we're going to want it to transfer into the router from, from the top of those guys. And we're going to do a pusher. Sender module. Into there. Perfect. And we're going to need, what are those things? Hooyah! What are those things? Some speed upgrades. Okay, we have that automated now. So it is 0.8 millibuckets for the sentient ender, and we have it. We have the pattern provider pushing to the soul binder. You just have to not push back into it because it pushes the experience before the crafting is done. So then we're using a modular router to push into it there, and we can camouflage that guy by just doing that. So now it looks nice and clean, except we don't have the machines on the bottoms, which whatever. Cool. So with that, let's go grow this soul tree sapling, which I found in the end cities. So if you go in the end cities, you should be able to find this sapling. But we could get into productive trees pretty soon as well. That's really not a big deal at all. Let me grow this guy. Oh, by the way, I did go into the Twilight Forest, and maybe I'll show you guys that. It really wasn't that interesting. I just went in there and killed the Snow Queen so we could get some of its heads. That I did with hostile neural networks. But I don't know, it wasn't too interesting. Whoa. Let's do that, and then we can use our lumber bees. Are we gonna get another sapling back? Lumber trees. Let's do that. We need the soul tree logs for the unrefined liquid souls. That way we can make liquid souls. So we can use that in the runic crucible to make other things. Like these modular machinery reborn stuff. Anyways, we'll need it for the Hephaestus Forge. We'll need it for the runic crucible as well. Although we don't really need the obsidian ingots, so I guess it's just for the Hephaestus Forge. Now, what we can do, how much plastic or latex do we have? This should be enough. Let's see how our fluid discs are doing. Our source is finally full. Look at that. Our FE storage is almost half full. Chemical. Do we want to put it in this? We really should, huh? Okay, I'll partition it into this guy. So we need the unrefined soul stuff, liquid souls. That will go in there. And I will just store that for now. We are kind of getting all over the place. Let's set this up to soul logs. Cool. Now these guys are making liquid souls. Wow, that was quick. Dang. But it's going. Okay, so we just did a little bit of progress and just tying up some loose ends, like finally starting EnderIO. We are making that, so pretty soon we'll be able to move into the modular machinery stuff. And now that it's been changed to the modern industrialization versions, we'll have to kind of get started with that too. You know what would be cool to make is some kind of a swapper thing that puts the obelisks down until this is full of Ariel, and then it switches it back to the pedestals. But I don't know how, since this isn't a valid inventory, you can't detect how much Ariel it has in it. So there would be no way to like use a level emitter or something for that. I wonder if Industrial Integrated Dynamics has a way to read this data. I'll take a look at that. If it is, that would be a cool thing to do, even though we're about to make the automatic Hephaestus Forge. I think that automation would be cool to do. You can't set the obelisks in the place of the pedestals and then offset the pedestals, like put the pedestals here, for example. Like that, and then put the pedestals there and an obelisk here, and that will work. Okay, so we have that set up, and we take out the Ariel bottles and make something. Let's just make sure this works. See? Does work. So the pedestals can be over there and the obelisks can be here, and everything will be working just fine. But it does seem a little bit crowded. As soon as this is done, oh, it's going up right now, actually. Yeah, it's going up by 8 every however many seconds. I guess we can leave it like that for now. And in between episodes, I will see if there's some integrated dynamics shenanigans we can do to put a swapper on those guys. Or a builder or something. That would do that. That would be cool. Anyways, rambling again. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Stay tuned for the Sath Roller episode coming out for Nobies on Friday. That's going to be a fun episode that I'm excited for. Anyways, see you later.